Hi there and welcome back. If you're returning to watch one of my videos, if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. I really hope you do come back. This is not one of my normal videos. For anyone that's just tuning in and you find this on one of your timelines or you've been recommended this, I usually do a full reading using my tarot cards and my oracle cards, but this is a very one-off quick message to share some information that I think could help people who have been asking me the same questions. And so if you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm a seer, so I tap into past, present and future energies. I'm a psychic medium and a healer, and I'm also a twin flame. So if you've been guided to my channel, chances are you are a twin too. So I hope you find some answers here. It's clearly stated in the title of this video, this is not a tarot reading. So I'm just answering a few questions that I get constantly in comments and in emails. And I thought I'm better just doing a quick short video. I did one a few months ago, very similar, but it's a wee down at the bottom of the playlist now. So I'll do another quick one, updated one for all my new subscribers. Hello, by the way, I'm so grateful for you being here and thank you so much. So first of all, the first thing I want to say is, people say to me all the time, how do you know you make your twin flame and it's not a karmic situation? So the first thing I'm going to say is, people write comments under my videos all the time saying stuff like, thanks for your message, but I'm not interested because my twin flame beats me up, they sexually abuse me, they hit me about, you know, they broke my arm, they broke my nose and stuff. That is not a twin flame connection. And I advise anyone who's in an abusive relationship with someone that beats them up or treats them badly, that is not a twin flame. That is not someone that God has sent in to make your life better. That is a karmic relationship. And I know because I've had karmic relationships like that my whole life, where I've been abused and I mean, I've been abused, treated terribly, had money stolen from me. They are all karmic relationships. So, and I'll tell you the difference from my karmic relationships to my twin flame experience, and I'll tell you some things that to look out for on your twin flame experience. It will just confirm to you that you have met your twin flame, okay? So one, when you first meet them, it's almost like a homecoming. There's like this immediate familiarity. You almost feel like this is the person I've been searching for my whole life, and that's within the first few minutes. There's an immediate connection. You just know straight away that you know this person. You feel safe, you feel comfortable. I mean, I remember the first night I met my person, all my rules went out the window for meeting someone for the first time. I thought, I'm not going to let them see where I live. I'm not going to tell them my second name. I'm not going to get in their car with them. And everything went out the window purely because it immediately felt like I trusted them. It felt like I'd known them my entire life. And it was a feeling I didn't even know about the twin flame journey at that point. So that was the first thing, okay? The second thing I want to say is, they actually make you want to better yourself immediately. Like things, they make you want to change about yourself. So you think, you know, you start to eat healthier, they actually trigger you to take better care of yourself. They trigger you in more creative ways. Like I actually wrote my best romance novel when I met my twin. They inspired me. They help my creative juices to flow. Everything about meeting my person was beautiful. It was euphoric. We could sit and stare into each other's eyes for 8 hours and talk non-stop, and it felt like half an hour had passed. Everyone else in the background just fell away. We could sit in a restaurant for 5 hours and look at our watches and go, oh, 5 hours had passed. It literally felt like we'd only been talking for 10 minutes. Time would fly and everyone else just fell away in the background. So that's the other thing that's definitely twin flame. Now all these things combined, so euphoric, the most potent love you can ever feel with anyone, the most empowering, beautiful feeling. I mean, it makes all the times you felt you were in love in the past just like that was nothing. That was just a high school crush. So that is the feeling you get with a twin, okay? Now, they will not abuse you physically, they will not do anything, but they will then start to trigger you. They will start to say things like, so you're feeling this euphoric love and you're going through some sort of awakening and you're starting to sense things, you're starting to see angel numbers and things, and you're thinking, what's going on, what's happening? So you start to tell your twin, there's something going on here. I feel like we might, you know, have some sort of bond or connection or something. And then that then makes your twin go, oh, I don't feel that. I don't want a commitment. I mean, but then they start triggering all your insecurities. Abandonment issues, childhood wounding. If you've always been a people pleaser and you start giving them too much love, they start taking it, but they give none of it back. And then, you know, never mind the karmic energies that then get involved because they're trying to split the two of you up and things. So a twin flame journey is hard. It's no doubt about it. It's hard. It is not for the faint-hearted at all. You have to have so much courage and strength. But the twin flame journey is designed to let you feel what this euphoric, perfect love feels like, because you effectively have found the other half of your soul. But then what happens is that nucleus of love that you're in suddenly starts to crumble away. And now you're like grasping at this perfect love, this beautiful euphoric love you've never felt in your life for anyone or anything. And they start to drift away from you. They start to run away from you. They start to choose karmic situations. They start to reject you. They start to block you. They start ghosting you. They don't reply to your messages. That is then what triggers you to start to go into sort of an emotional meltdown. You start going into heartbreak. But that's when you're actually going through your spiritual awakening. So what the twin flame journey, yes, it gives you a taste of what you can have with your twin, and then it takes it away, because then what this journey is supposed to do is you're supposed to then find that same euphoric feeling. Now this is the secret. This is the secret sauce I'm going to tell you. If you're a true twin flame and you're actually recognizing what I'm talking about here, and you're saying, oh, that's exactly how I felt. Remember that feeling of euphoric love. Remember that feeling of the excitement, just the thought of seeing your person. Think of that excitement when you knew you were meeting them for dinner or you were going away for a weekend together. That excited buzz you got, that beautiful euphoric happy feeling just being around them. The secret to your union is to find that on your own. Because you know that feeling you had when you were with your twin? They are always with you, because they're the other half of you. So when you find that euphoric feeling of being with your twin in the 3D, you find that euphoric feeling right here. And you can feel like that without the need to be with your twin in the 3D. You have achieved your inner union. You have achieved union with self. And once you've achieved that, that is when the 3D union can then start to manifest into the 3D. That can then start to manifest into your reality, but you have to feel that euphoric feeling inside of yourself before it can actually start to manifest, because it's still codependency. If you're still looking for that validation of having the physical person who you see as the other half that completes your soul, if you're still needing that validation of that person in your physical presence to feel good about yourself, then that is not twin flame union. If you're still obsessing over them, looking at their social media, seeing what their karmics do and see what, you know, who are they with, who are they dating, that is not you finding that euphoric feeling inside of yourself. That is you still chasing. And as long as you're chasing, they're going to keep running. When you find that euphoric feeling inside of you that you felt when you were with your twin, that means your twin is with you. That means you don't need to be with them in the 3D to feel that feeling. You've achieved inner union. That is what a healed twin would feel like. And then whatever happens in the 3D is all down to divine timing and when your masculine heals. And then it's all to do with when the timing is right for you both to come together. That is when the true magic can happen, because then that euphoric feeling just starts to pour out light and love to everyone. And I remember my twin and I sitting together, and the staff in restaurants and stuff they would always be trying to do everything they could for us. And we used to always laugh. We used to say we get treated like celebrities, and we're not. But that is the energy twins give off. They give off this beautiful light together. And especially, can you imagine? I mean, that was us unhealed and not in union at that point. So I'm telling you, that is my number one, that is my secret sauce for you. Whatever you felt that euphoric feeling with your twin, When you start to feel that within yourself without needing to be with your twin in the 3D, that has you achieved your union. And you can expect your actual physical 3D union to start to come very quickly after that. So that's that bit. Now the other question somebody keeps on asking me is, can both twins carry the same hexes and curses from past lives? The simple answer is yes, because if you've both been cursed in a past life to never come together, you know, like could have been cursed like to never have true love with each other, or to always have a fated ending. So there's, I mean, past lives, there were some crazy hexes and curses and spell work done in past lives which can filter down into this lifetime. But the thing is, when the divine feminine goes through her awakening and starts to vibe higher and higher and higher, she breaks free of all the curses and the hexes. And there's actually every morning I say a lot of I do cord cuttings and call my power back, like power recall and stuff in the mornings. But I always say any hexes, any programs, hexes or curses from the past or present, from this life or others, I relinquish them all now. And just picture like all the cords being cut away from any curses, hexes or programs, and do that every day, just to keep yourself cleansed of anything like that. But your masculine, until they've gone through their awakening, they might still be under the influence. That is why so many masculines are prone to getting, you know, lust spells done on them, spiritual warfare, because they're still not fully awakened, and they're vibrating too low to understand their under spell work until they go through their spiritual awakening and join their feminines, and then they start to realise they've been under like different curses and hexes and spell work and things. So yeah, you can have the same curse and hex and stuff as your person, but once you're fully awakened and vibing high, then these kind of things don't affect you anymore. You're vibing too high and vibing too high and too highly protected as well by the divine for that to happen. So another thing I want to say is, people always going about, God has let me down and God has done. God, I'm telling you now, God does not make you cross the path of your twin flame to cause you misery. A twin flame journey is to better your life. It's an absolute blessing, and I know it doesn't seem like that for most of you who like to say it's been terrible and stuff like that, and I suppose some of you have had a terrible journey, and I'm not taking away from that. I can understand completely, because I went through the really hard times, the emotional, you know, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the heartbreak I felt. But that heartbreak and loss and rejection brought me closer to God, and that is exactly what the heartbreak and loss is supposed to do. So people say, oh, how could God do this to me? How could God put a twin flame journey onto my path when it's caused me misery? That is not what a twin flame journey is. And I really feel that if you feel miserable in a relationship and you're getting any kind of, I mean, I sympathise if you're in a relationship or in a connection where you're getting abused or anything like that. Please know that this is not a relationship God has asked you to be in. God does not put you in a twin flame situation to have you abused and broken down. That is not, there's no physical abuse in a twin flame connection. Spiritual warfare can go on, of course, because if your twin's still attached to a karmic and they are sending negative energy through your masculine, it can come across like they're with the karmic. And in many times the masculine can be under spell work to make them do things against their will. So just be very wary of that. But a twin flame journey is a blessing, and it's to wake you up to your highest timeline, to wake you up to your spiritual abundance, to wake you up to your truest version of yourself. A twin flame journey is not to make your life harder. It's not to ruin you. It's not to hurt you. God cherishes all his children, and especially his twin flames, because they are so important to the world. He does not say to cross the path of your twin flame to make you worse off or to destroy you or anything like that. It's to make you a better version of you. and to bring unconditional love back to your life. So I can't say enough. And I mean, a twin flame journey is courage, it's healing, it's forgiveness, it's nurturing yourself, it's returning to your highest version of yourself, but it's also all about blind faith. You never know. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, but you just know you're going to have an amazing future ahead of you. And I can tell you, from like 2 years ago to now, I could never have foreseen myself this happy on my own and feeling completely at peace and calm, and I feel so abundant every single day. And I wake up and hear the birds outside, and I just smile, because I just think, I've been blessed with such a beautiful life. And I really have been. And it's a simple life, but it's a beautiful life. And I am not pining for my twin or anything like that. I just know that God is going to always look after me to the day I leave this world again. And that's what I'm going to say. It just makes me emotional. Should I reach out to my twin flame? Only reach out to your twin flame if it's not in desperation. Like if you're not reliant on your twin interacting with you in a conversation. So say, for example, you just drop a text them saying, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking of you and I hope everything's going well for you. And then they reply back one message saying, yeah, I'm fine, how are you? Now, as long as you can keep that, and as long as you're not dependent on that being some sort of cue for them to come back. So I'm trying to explain it. So as long as your text messaging is not about you being desperate or being codependent on their energy, if you're doing it just as someone who, so like you can message them but you say, I don't care if they message me back, I just want them to know I care, that kind of thing. Don't be dependent on them to always respond. Know if you reach out to them, it's just like, you know, that you care, but don't be expecting or codependent on them to reply. That is the difference. Personally, there's been times where I have felt intuitively guided to reach out to my person, but there's been times where he hasn't. We've had a few texts back and forwards, and then he's maybe left me on read, and I've just left it, and I just have got on with my day, and I've got on with, you know, and then maybe another month or two passes, and we talk again. So it's not, I mean, before, if he'd left me on read like 2 years ago, I would have been devastated, like, oh my god, he's totally, you know, he's ghosting me, oh my god. But now it's just like, cool, he's doing his thing, he's busy trying to sort out his life, I'm working on my, you know, my path. So that's the difference. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to reach out or not. And as for free will, yes, we all have free will. You can decide not to go ahead with your twin flame journey. You can decide to not be with your twin in the 3D. That's your choice. But I can tell you, if you have experienced a twin flame connection, and I can tell you right now, you will never ever find that in anyone else. Never. So for me, I was celibate and single for nearly 15 years. So being celibate and single a bit longer does not bother me at all. So I'm happy to wait for the right time to come in for me. And if God decides that my person and I should be together in the 3D, I'm delighted. I can't wait. But if he decides it's not the right time, and, you know, then I accept that as well. So, but yeah, I want to tell you this lovely story, actually, because it came into my head today. About a year ago, I go around to a duck and swan pond all the time, and so this could be relevant to someone's twin flame, actually, because it came into my head today and I thought, I've not thought about this for so long. And I went round one day, it was just about sort of mating season, and I went round and there was this duck. I named him the Emperor, because you'll understand why when I tell you this. Now, there was one female duck there. I think she was pregnant, or yeah, I think he was protecting her, and there was like maybe 10 or 12 other male ducks all going for this female. and this one male duck was fending them all off. So I kind of tried to help him out a bit, because I was kind of, you know, trying to chase some of the other males back, and I gave his lady friend some food, but he couldn't even eat the food, because I realised he had a huge open wound here on his chest. And after I helped chase some of the male ducks away, he just sat down on the ground and he started wheezing. And at that point, the tears started falling from my eyes. And I thought, oh no, 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 please don't die after fending off all these these ducks. So in that moment, I'm crying just at the thought of it. In that moment, I don't know, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. I always knew I had some sort of connection to nature, even as a child, but I just remember closing my eyes and I saw the duck sitting on the ground in my third eye, and I just started seeing I just started visualising golden threads sewing up the wound on its chest, and I was sending so much waves of white light over this duck, and I was saying to the duck in my mind, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Don't give up the fight. You're doing really well. Don't give up. I believe in you. And I was just sending this duck waves and waves, and it was so weird, because when I actually opened my eyes, the duck was standing up again, and it was staring right at me, like as if it was in some sort of weird trance. It was just staring at me like this, and I thought, that duck's probably like that crazy woman Berg out of my head right now. It was the weirdest thing ever. But from that day on, I came home. And that night, I was crying and I was praying to God, because I was so worried about leaving it alone in case, because it was wheezing so badly. And I prayed to God so hard that night. I was like, God, please save that duck. He has to be there for his ducklings, and he's protecting his empress there. And I prayed so hard, like, God, please save that duck. So I couldn't go the next day because I was too scared to go in case he was dead. But I went the day after. And it was the most amazing thing, because when I arrived there, all the other ducks were all sort of swimming towards the side of the pond, and this first duck jumped out, and straight away I saw the actual scar here, and it was amazing. It was actually like somebody had actually sewn up the wound on the duck's chest. And he was the first duck to come over to me, and I remember kneeling on the concrete and putting down the seeds for him and stuff. And after that, it was amazing, because I ended up with a really great bond with this duck. And then all the ducklings came along, and they would all come over. But I just remember thinking, it gave me such a bond with this duck. And so I don't know if I really felt today that was basically given. And the nice thing was, when the duck was wheezing and sitting on the ground, his empress, as I called her, went and sat next to him. She sat on the ground next to him, and I just thought, that's the way it should be, you know. He's fighting for his women. And I just remember the day that he was wheezing with the chest, I just remember he was still charging at the other ducks with his head down, and then he would sit down and start wheezing again. And I thought, what a warrior. And I think at that moment I saw a lot of myself in that duck, because I've been so many times where I've just felt like giving up. I've been fighting, and then nearly running out of steam and thinking I may as well just give up. And I just felt in that moment that duck represented me, but also so many of the masculines as well. Like, he really embodied masculines for me, you know, like they really will get into that energy where they are going to fight for their empress. So I think that was kind of, that story coming to my mind today is kind of the energy the masculines are in now. They're kind of fighting to get out of their karmic trenches, they're fighting to get out of their karmic contracts and their karmic situations, and they're kind of wheezing, but the divine feminines are sending them so much love and light and helping them on their journey. So I'm actually going to go down to the duck pond tomorrow, just because thinking about that duck today. And I remember being so grateful to God that night. I remember saying, thank you, God, because God knew that duck was so important to me, because I don't think I would have coped if I'd gone round and I hadn't seen him, or I'd found him dead or something. It would have been the worst thing. So it was like, I think God knew in that moment that how important that duck was to me. And as I say, I ended up with a wonderful bond with the duck, and also the ducklings that came along afterwards. So that's my little story there. I just thought I'd share it with you. But I just thought it was a prime example of the emperor and the empress dynamic, even in the animal world. So it was just, I love that. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this and you get some benefit out of it. As I say, I will put in the title, this is not a reading, so it's just me rambling for how long? Oh, longer than I thought. Anyway, thank you so much and take care, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Namaste.